So good morning, boys and girls. It's a little on the chilly side. It's in barely 60 degrees. Feels great, actually. This is actually perfect motorcycling weather. Get your helmet on and jacket. Put that visor down. At this rate, I might be closing helmet vents here in a little while. So it's nice to be out here. I've been watching a lot about adventure riders. There's a guy 40 times around. This Tim Collins, I think his name is. Interesting guy. Openly dealing with his depression and anxiety, and out there on a really nicely set up BMW 1200 GS, and then there's also Itchy Boots, that Dutch girl driving. Right now she's going from Patagonia all the way up to Alaska. She has another trip where she crosses Asia on a little Royal Enfield Himalayan. And in both cases, you know, these folks are out there on their own on adventure bikes, and they're doing as much off-roading as on-roading. You know, lots of dirt roads and even some trails. And it's, you know, it's kind of, it's kind of giving me the itch to think about adventure bikes. I still haven't taken this thing anywhere, really. Just around here, Myrtle Beach, but I was gonna take it to DC, and that got rained out. I was gonna take it up to the Smoky Mountains, and that was actually that same weekend that I was going to DC to see my son, and that got rained out. So I don't know. Now my wife is headed out to the Outer Banks, which is a good 330 miles from here, I think. So depending on what she says, she doesn't know if it's just an all-girls thing or what. She's up there with a friend who I think is running some kind of marathon up there. I might go to the Outer Banks tomorrow, and it looks like that like an entire trip is on Route 17, which is, you know, something. It's not 95, so that's something good. But that could be a longer trip. But these guys who take off around the world, basically, and that's all they do is ride. And the Dutch girl, I don't ever see her camping. She always finds some place to stay. Somebody has a room for rent, and I get the feeling that money is just not an issue for her, because she never talks about it, ever. The 40 times around guy, you know, I think I've just started to watch his videos, so I'm not really sure what his story is, but it sounds like he just sold all his stuff and closed up his apartment and took off, and he's got his YouTube channel. And I don't know much about how these YouTube channels generate income. I don't have enough subscribers. I'm nowhere near in that realm. But I really make some money from that, and he's got some merchandise, and I don't know, you know. He highly recommends it. And then meanwhile, you know, my wife, we're not sure what's going on with her job, and they eliminated my job, and I'd really like to retire, and everything's up in the air now, and it just seems like it's always up in the air. When is it ever just gonna settle out, you know? And maybe it never is the answer. You know, maybe after this there'll be some health crisis, so we're waiting on doctor results. I mean, it just, God almighty, it never, ever, ever seems to end. So, maybe that's the point, I don't know. But it is nice to get a bike, whether I'm talking to you or just riding, and sort of talk and think out what's going on, and meanwhile enjoy this thing. Enjoying being out in the world instead of caged off from it like you are in your home or in your car. So that's it for now, boys and girls. Talk to you soon.